All right, so Connor put out a video. I helped him do a thumbnail for this. He last night he made a video on the most toxic gaming community, being Gacha games, and I'm curious. He said this is one of his like best videos that he's worked on so far that he's liked to do instead of like the usual reaction content and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see how he cooked with this video.
There is a gaming niche that has some of the most deranged people in all of the internet in, and I would know. I'm one of them. And that would be the Gacha community.
Yep.
The Gacha community continues to spiral in a cycle of vitriol, big corpo shilling, and of course, death threats. And while death threats are nothing new to the internet, it seems almost a little bit worse here.
Yeah, it is.
That might just be because I'm friends with a lot of people in the space and see what they have to deal with on a regular basis.
I showed him some.
We exist in a really weird time here in our little corner of the internet, and I wanted to do my best to tackle why I think that is and see what we can maybe try and do about it. Is this
we can't do anything about it, bro. The people that are doing this shit do not give a flying fuck what we say. Like the people that are telling me to kill myself, they don't give a fuck.
Futile attempt? Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
It's a
very well could be.
It's a futile
I'll
attempt.
be damned if I don't give it a shot. So let's talk about why this community is so gosh darn toxic and what we can do about it. So bend over daddy's knee and get ready for a spanking, because I'm about to teach you kids a lesson. But before we do that, make sure to drop a like and subscribe too.
That was
hopefully
good.
not, because like the spank, it's for the bit. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, you know, Connor, listen, Connor, if you're watching my reaction to video, you need to do more videos like this. This is good. This brings out your artistic side and your entertaining side. Get away from doing guides and reactions. Do more of this. This is good.
Now, there are a few components to the gacha space and why I think it is always primed and ready for combat more than sitting around for a political conversation over Thanksgiving dinner. Your political candidate's a walking corpse. Your political candidate is a literal felon. Anybody else hate the elderly?
Why are you even talking about this? Because you're fucking Canadian. Fuck you, you fucking Canadian.
The gacha community is made up of a Venn diagram of 3 different groups, so let's walk through them real quick. Firstly, we have the antisocial and parasocial people.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's some antisocial people who aren't going to be like being paired up with the parasocial people, but you know what? Screw off. This is my chart. I'm going to group it how I want to. Hoyoverse has been on record stating that
The teens, are you following me on YouTube? Because you would have saw my reaction to the live.
they want to target antisocial people who can't communicate women for their games.
Yes.
People in this category easily attach themselves to characters and things in a parasocial manner.
Yep.
See Exhibit A. People treating video game characters like real people. An example of this taking place was with the Honkai Star Rail drama concerning the character of Robin. At least online and Twitter, people in the game community could not tolerate any
that
kind
was
of
bad.
straight ships
You mean
for the
Tectone's
character
girlfriend?
because she was supposedly reserved for the lesbians.
That is the dumbest fucking take I've ever seen in my life. The people that said that when this was going on made me lose brain cells. I did not think people were actually that fucking parasocial and that stupid.
People went to fucking war over this.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And now, while I'm not going to lump everybody in that same category, because I know some gay people who thought it was absolutely ridiculous, it doesn't change the fact that that war took place.
Yep.
And just
here's the thing. All the people that were arguing this were not gay. Like, they were all people that were not LGBTQ or gay. They were straight heterosexual males. Oh.
For those of you who still might be confused, as said by people better than me, she's not real.
Yep.
Anyway, this parasocial attachment is not limited to video game characters, but can also be applied to content creators, where then these parasocial people start to elevate them to a higher status of being. Once someone has been elevated to this higher status of being, if they do not meet the headcanon of these parasocial people, they will be crucified and canceled on Twitter.
True.
You can be sure of that.
True.
Now, if a content creator manages to stay in the good books of those parasocial people, they will defend that content creator if anybody dare step up to them.
Yep.
And they will attack like a starving pit bull that's just wandered into a kid's daycare. Both
What the
of these
fuck?
circumstances
What
are
the
an
fuck was
unhealthy
that?
attachment to characters or people, and it is not a good place for either party. But now that we understand our parasocials, let's talk about our second group, the gamblers. Now let's call a spade a spade. Gacha games are gambling. Whether you're gambling your time by re-rolling accounts or logging in every single day to get every single ounce of currency you can get as a free-to-play player, or as a whale who's walking in there and actually dropping literal dollars on the game to get premium currency to roll on new characters, you are still gambling regardless.
That much is obvious.
Time or money. This group of people is very prone to the cost sunk fallacy.
Yep.
Where if somebody dares criticize their game in either a constructive
Yep.
or destructive
This is why
manner,
people still play
they will
Genshin.
do everything they can to protect their investment.
This is the only
And you
reason
can
why
be
people still
damn
play
sure
Genshin.
They're going to attack that offender on site.
I mean, not
They
the only
do
reason,
this
but
because they're worried that if their
most
game
part.
loses in popularity and spending, that they're going to get the dreaded EOS, end of service.
It's gonna
End of
happen.
service is a horrific
Hey, for all y'all that are thinking it's never going to happen, there is going to be a day where one day your favorite game that you're defending like this hardcore is going to die. Like, not like popularity wise, like literally they're going to end service for the game eventually. It's going to happen. There is nothing you can do to stop this.
thought for the gambler, because then you're actually faced with the amount that you've wasted on the game, because now it's just actually gone and there's nothing left. Let me be clear, you've already wasted all of that, but that's usually when the reality finally hits for people. But let's not get this mixed up. If you wail on a gacha game, I think you've already lost, personally. Don't get me wrong.
Listen,
I think you should have
he's just upset that he lost to me in the tournament and I'm a whale. So, you know, that's the only reason why I'm saying that.
every right to do what you want on these games, and if you want to go and spend thousands
That
of
PGR
dollars
character
on
is hot as fuck.
PNGs and or 3D models that you can run around the world in, you should have every right to. But just because you have a right to doesn't make you correct, and I still think it's a waste. But that brings us to the end of the gamblers and to our third category of people, and that is the gooner degenerates. The absolute
Okay, now I'm going to take offense to this video because now he's talking about me. Now I'm going to get offended. Okay, because now he's talking about my realm
people I have ever met
of content.
on the internet have come from the gacha space. And while there's definitely a general crossover with the anime community, it seems like the most degenerate of the anime community ends up trickling their way into gacha games as well. There were fetishes
Maybe.
I didn't
The My
know
Hero community is
existed
definitely a part of the
before I
Genshin
started
community.
playing gacha games and engaging in the community. And those are fetishes that I will say I am worse off knowing. Just please, for the love of God, don't Google the term docking. It's your fault, Cap.
I was in voice chat with them with a bunch of people. We were all in voice chat, and he didn't know what docking was. And when I joined the I apparently joined in late, and they had already explained to Connor what docking was. And when I joined the call, they're like Legions, do you know what docking is? I was like, isn't that when like you take your penis and you put your foreskin like over the other person's penis or something like that? And yeah, that's what it is. Don't ask me how I know that. I looked up like a lot of weird shit back in the day, bro. But yeah, fucking Cap fucking was trolling him and telling him that I'm all about docking. This shit was hilarious.
Now, before this sounds like I'm condemning some of you, remember, I'm right down in this pit with you. I've got 6 gacha games installed on my phone right now that I log in to check in on at least daily. So I'm not saying this as an outsider looking in. I'm saying this as a peer sitting right next to you in the mud.
Yeah.
All of
And he's married and has kids, by the way, and he still plays these games.
Venn
Okay, so I don't want to hear it.
intersect at one central place, and that is peak toxic gacha player. And now you may not find yourself in the center of this Venn diagram, but I am convinced everybody is in at least one of these
I am definitely in the bottom 2. Yeah. Definitely not anti or parasocial, but I am definitely in the bottom 2.
categories. And if you don't think you're in one of these categories, you are a fucking liar. Stop
Wait, if you're watching this video, I want you to go in the comments right now and tell me which of these 3, if not all 3, you are in the comments.
lying to yourself right now. Look, there may be some well-adjusted people who play these
Yep, he
games.
is a gooner.
People like myself, of course.
Yeah.
But I have yet to meet anybody else like that.
Yeah.
Now, let's be clear. Any group of people
Okay, bro.
are going to be susceptible to the pitfalls
He
of
should be the only motherfucker getting praised, you know?
a toxic community.
Okay.
But these traditional vices, I think, give this group more of a predisposition for them. So we've got our Tinder and our makeup of people. Let's talk about how we set fire.
Starting the fire, okay?
I'm not the first one to say this, and
Let
I will
him-
not be
let
the
him
last
cook.
one to say this, but tribalism. Now, let's be clear. Tribalism is a normal human instinct, and
Yep.
it's one of the things that has allowed us to thrive as a species
And,
up until
yep,
this point.
as
It's
civilization.
not inherently a bad thing. We all want to have that group of people that we know are going to back us up when the going gets tough. However, toxic tribalism is when the fear of one of those circles starts to lead the group. Toxic tribalism keeps you in a constant state of fear and war, where you always feel like you need to be protecting yourself from the other tribes. And then if you fail to adhere to the perfect dogma of your own tribe, you will find yourself on the sacrificial altar with the other people you are trying to protect yourself from. When left unchecked, toxic tribalism either only ends in a group devouring itself by trying to constantly achieve a certain degree of purity and people who adhere to the dogma, or if they manage to do that, it will lead them into a place where they refuse to look at any other perspective, leading them into a place of stagnation and
Yeah.
a slow state of decay.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Genshin Impact is a game that has suffered from both of these things
Yep,
at different
absolutely.
times, where people didn't like the game enough, they were just seen as toxic, and now that they refuse to bring about any kind of change, the game has just been a slow state of decay for a while now. I know it's going to piss off some Genshin stands, but look, I'm just calling it as I see it.
Yeah, if they get offended, they're stupid, because anybody can see that has been in a decay for a very long time now. It's like over the last year, probably since Fontaine released. You know, it's been going. Even Sumeru, right? And then Fontaine came out, and people were back up again about it, and then it went immediately back down.
Even if initially, when you found yourself in one of these groups, this was not your intention to act this way, just out of self-preservation, people's beliefs will shift over time just to subconsciously protect themselves. Now, if you've got a toxic tribe and you take a group of antisocial people who, generally speaking, have a hard enough time integrating themselves into particular groups, they're going to be ripe for this kind of experience. Then if you've got the gamblers in the group, they're very quick to weaponize that group of people because they have a fear of loss and want to protect their investments. Then you've got the gooners and the degenerates standing around, just jerking off constantly, so busy in their own heads that they just sit around and let it all happen anyway.
Yeah, that's me. And I feel like the gooners are the least toxic ones, because we just try to simp over anime characters, whether they be female or male, bro. That's about it.
Kind of like sloth coming out of the fruits of lust in a weird way. Usually the only thing that can get one of the gooners or degenerates really fired up in a toxic way
is censorship. That is, if you don't say censorship, you're wrong, because that's the one thing that pisses gooners off.
Is when they smell censorship, because
Yep, that's it. That's the only time. That is the only time. Which I'm gonna say something. The Nicole nerf was not that. Also, this shot of Connor is funny as fuck. This was not that bad. The Rosaria nerf, though, I will never forgive Genshin Impact for that nerf ever in my life.
like, dude, I swear, if I got to hear one more person complain about Nicole's boobs being nerfed, I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna absolutely.
You were one of them. Don't lie.
Nobody cares. But the combination of the
You kind of just like argued against your own point, where you just said the only thing that gooners care about is censorship, and then you immediately said that gooners that nobody cares about the censorship. So you know,
these three groups always kind of being on the lookout makes the current state of the community even trickier. I would like to propose that people in these communities don't know how to exist in a time of peace. Like a bunch of World War II veterans coming back with PTSD, they just see war everywhere. The gacha space as a whole finally finds itself on the other side of a multi-phase drama that contained one of the biggest bouts of content creator PvP that I've ever seen over multiple years.
Oh yeah.
For real, this is the longest saga I feel like I've ever seen in any kind of YouTube niche, with maybe the exception of, like, I don't know, the makeup and beauty space, because them bitches is crazy.
Oh yeah,
Just so
that's
we
a
don't
whole
get it
that
twisted, yes,
dude.
I am
Yeah, if people think that gaming communities on YouTube are like super toxic, you have not seen the makeup and beauty side of YouTube. Holy shit. Or the lifestyle gurus, like those, dude. Those are so toxic. Oh,
referring to the Tectone and Atsu drama that spiraled out of control, that had tons of content creators being sucked into this vortex. It was a black hole event. It was like the bloody...
I barely ever talk about drama, and even I reacted to that shit because that shit was like, I needed popcorn for that one. That one was fucking, I could have watched that shit all day.
Captain America Civil War event that took place.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It's too much to recap in this video here. If you want to learn more about that, Mugen did a great video on it if you got a few hours to spare, but I'm not getting into all the details.
I'm not gonna lie, I love Mugen, but and that video did amazing for him, but bro, that shit was like 3 hours. I was not watching that. I don't think the MTash Tectone one recently was that crazy at all. I mean, I could always sense that they kind of just talked to each other just because they wanted to be cordial. They never really seemed like they were like close friends. And to me, it just seemed like something that was, you know, bound to happen eventually. They both were very on the opposite ends of the spectrum. You know, MTash never really approved of some of the ways that Tectone handled things, you know, and that was very clear from the way that they had their own drama years ago. And it just seemed kind of something like was inevitable to happen eventually. Crazy in the sense that Tech went full mask off and told him how he really felt. You mean MTash went full mask off? MTash went full mask off. Tectone was just pretty much like calling him out.
All that matters is that we've gone through this crazy event and it is now seemingly done. There was a small epilogue there, kind of a little bit that happened with MTash, but even that's already been, that's all a wash.
Yeah.
So it seems like things have finally cooled off.
In my opinion, the MTash Tectone thing was, MTash kind of he lost respect for me for sure. Because if you don't like somebody, don't pretend like you're friends with them and you like them for fucking years. That's just the stupidest shit I've ever heard. And Tectone genuinely thought that they were friends. And MTash always in the back of his mind, like, oh, he's really popular in the space. I'm going to stay relevant and stay friends with him. But then, like, even though he was, like, doing that for his own viewership, he was also in the back of his mind getting fucking angry or jealous that his reactions were getting more views than his own videos. And he was getting angry that, oh, you know, you make me look bad when you do thumbnails like this and clickbait titles. So, like, instead of just talking to somebody as a friend saying, hey, this, you know, I don't appreciate this. Because at the end of the day, he still wanted, you know, Tectone to react to his own videos. Because obviously he gets more views from that. But then once it started being more negative than positive, then he was like, yeah, fuck this guy, you know? It was, yeah, that drama was so weird. It wasn't drama. It was just somebody pretending to like somebody for a very long time and then finally revealing that I never liked you to begin with, kind of thing.
Terms of the content,
he got revealed as a snake.
That's honest,
pretty much
it.
It.
Really nice to see. But while a lot of these content creators have moved into a time of recovery, like for example, Tectone just went on a break, HexJuice has been on a break, other people as well have been taking some time. I took some vacation too, but I wasn't really in the drama. But it's nice to see that everybody's finally cooling off. But I don't know.
You're so naive for now. I'll give it a couple more weeks.
If you haven't noticed, but it feels like even though the content creators may be in a cool down state, it seems like the communities are far from it.
Is he going to talk about the Genshin
still out looking
stuff?
for blood? Just to be clear, I'm not blaming any of the content creators for the stuff that's going on. I very much believe at the end of the day that people are only responsible for their own actions, but you know, it is happening. Wuthering Waves on its launch was at war with Genshin, and now Zenless Zone Zero is at war with Wuthering Waves. The absolute comment sections are bloodbaths of people ripping on both sides. Yeah, I'm getting sick and tired of my comments. I don't look at them anymore. I know it sounds, oh yeah, the Sensory Tower drama is going to happen again. Yeah, literally 10 days, true. I know people hearing this makes them probably not want to comment on my videos when I say this, but like, I'm going to be so real with you when I say I do not read comments anymore. Every once in a while, I'll scroll and give a heart or a like on someone's comment if I see it. Because like when I open the YouTube Studio page, it always shows your most recent comments. And if I see something I like, I'll heart it, right? Or sometimes I'll respond. Yeah.
for the most part, I don't read comments because every time I read the comments, it is just people going to war with each other. It is absolutely ridiculous. Or I'm making a video on Wuthering Waves that has nothing to do with Xenoblade Zero and vice versa. And then people are like, for example, my Xenoblade Zero video, people were constantly talking about Wuthering Waves in the comments, and I never brought it up at all. Like, why? The Sensory Tower is a monthly gacha revenue.
People complaining that Arknight's Enfield is going to suck, or
okay, first of all, not people. It's just Tectone that's saying that, and he has a very obvious bias towards that. He's also the wrong kind of person for that game. The game's not going to suck because one person does not like the way the game plays. If you try to give that dude Xenoblade Chronicles to play, he would not enjoy playing that game. Can I show you an example of how Arknight's Enfield is literally just like Xenoblade? Okay, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 gameplay. Okay. This is one of the most popular JRPG series ever, the Xenoblade Xenosaga, okay? The combat from Arknight's Enfield is very reminiscent, and they said it in an interview, I believe, of Xenoblade Chronicles. Okay? I don't know why this person's quality is so bad. Let me look at another fucking video. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let me fast forward here a little bit. Okay. It's auto combat, right? And then when a skill is available, you click the skill. And some skills have a cone range or AoE or single target or back damage. As you can see here, side break, back attack, right? So like there's positionals. It's more MMO-ish than most action games, okay? Enfield is not an action open world game. It is an open world game with strategic combat, MMO combat, okay? Yeah, the Switch quality is bad. That's probably why it looks like ass. But yeah, so that game is not going to be bad just because Tectone doesn't like it. Every content creator's, comment section is an echo chamber. His community, for the most part, is going to agree with him. So if he says something's bad, even if they've never seen anything about it or played it themselves, they're going to be like, yeah, Tectone said it, so yeah, it's true, it's bad. So just because one person doesn't like a gameplay style doesn't mean the game is going to be bad. I think this game is actually going to be very good, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be on the same par as ZZZ, to be honest, because ZZ, there's a love-hate relationship for that game right now between players. There's people that absolutely hate it. There's people that absolutely love it. So I think it's going to be one of those. I'm excited for it, too. I think it's going to be very good. Tectone that hates anything that requires you to use your brain too much. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But it's just don't trust someone's opinion that doesn't really play much video games outside of gacha. Because I have played so many video games, bro, and still to this day I play so many video games outside of stream that is not gacha games. Okay, I play a lot of turn-based games, I play a lot of action games, Souls games, fucking shooters, MMOs. I play it all, dude. So not every game is going to be for everybody.
It's going to be the next best game. Can the Tower of Fantasy devs actually deliver on NTE? And then, of course, Azure Premilia. Well, actually, most people are pretty excited about Azure Premilia, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Players of each of these games are
I'm thinking about making an entirely new channel for that game. I'm gonna be honest.
Still in the comments, are still in the threads, just going to town on each other, and it's just exhausting. And this whole thing is extra funny to me because it feels like people have forgotten something that's so incredibly obvious.
Reality, touching grass.
I think a weird reality that those on the front lines refuse to acknowledge is like something that I pointed out earlier in this video. Most people play more than one gacha game. I've got 6 on my
What I was just saying.
phone. Almost anybody I know who plays gacha games doesn't only play one single game.
And here's the thing. I will further this even further. Not every person that plays gacha games only plays gacha games. There's people that play games outside of gacha games. They play RPGs, JRPGs, MMOs, shooters, strategy games, fucking like visual novels. Like people play all kinds of games outside of gacha. Gacha is not just like Oh, I only play Gacha. The only people that play Gacha only are poor people that can't afford to play other games, or people that just have shitty, stuff going on in life. They can't afford a new PS5 or PS4. They live in a third world country that doesn't have much technology, and their phone can play a fucking Gacha game. That is the only people that only play Gacha games. But most people play a lot of different games, not just Gacha. NTE, yeah, he said that.
They usually have at least multiple installed on their phones or consoles or PCs.
I only have Star Rail installed on my phone. I hate playing Gacha games on my phone.
Gacha games have never been and will never be structured as a main game. They're all designed to be side games.
Yep, and here's the thing. I actually was in a call with my friend Chaotic for like a good hour or two earlier today before I went live. And then also, we've also talked about it beforehand too. I really, not that I want to get out of the Gacha space, but like I definitely have to do something different for my YouTube, because both of our YouTubes are kind of like went from averaging 10, 20K views video to 2,000. Don't know why. Even FG 3000, who is like 300,000 subs and has been doing Gacha game content, mobile gaming content for like a good fucking 5-6 years now, always averaged a lot of views, is now averaging like 5,000, 3,000 views. It's very weird what's going on right now. I don't think a lot of people really give a shit about Gacha right now. And I'm going to be either, if I have to make a separate channel for the other things that I have passion for, to make good content, and then just use this main channel that I have right now, the YouTube channel that I have right now, one of them, the one I'm doing the Gacha content on, I'll just use it to keep doing Hoiverse shit, and if it keeps doing what it's doing, I guess whatever. I have an editor that's probably going to take over and do all the videos for that channel, and then I will do my own passion project on a different channel. Especially seeing like what happened, like EO, dude. For example, EO made a new channel for ZZ, and this really opened my eyes. I used to think making multiple channels for games were horrible because there's someone that that I had drama with a long time ago, that this person makes a new fucking YouTube channel for like every fucking Gacha game that comes out, and I always said, look at this fucking idiot making a channel for every fucking game that comes out, and it never gets going at all, and fucking it just seems like a waste of time. But that's just because it's not because that doesn't work, it's because his content is just trash. So that's why he doesn't get any viewership on his main channel or any other channel he makes. But for example, EO made a brand new channel for Zenless Zone Zero, and look at this. Oh, let me close this. So he started, and it didn't do that well, right? The first video was 3.5K, which for a new channel with no views, no subs, that's really good. 3.5K. Second video, 14K. Then third video, 300,000. On the third video on a brand new channel that was not even promoted anywhere outside of just making a video and posting on this channel. Now, if I was to make this same video, which I have, right? The thumbnail is very good. I have made similar thumbnails, if not worse or if not better, around the same, like literally around the same thing, right? For this, for both of these, best for free to play, best for 5 stars, best 5-star weapons, shit like that. Launch tier list reroll, and those used to do really good. But for some reason now, if I was to do this video, best 5 stars in Zenless Zone Zero, and post it on my main channel before Zenless Zone Zero came out, it would have did horrible. But if I would have posted it on a new channel, I think it would have done very, very well. I don't know what I did to my YouTube channel. I fucked it. I don't know what I did. I don't know what's going on with the analytics on my channel. If you look, I think, I'm going to be honest, I think it was Honkai Impact 3rd. I think Honkai Impact 3rd really fucked my channel, because Honkai Impact 3rd, the thing with that game is I got a lot of views from that game when I first started covering it. But as soon as I started trying to do other things, nobody watched, right? Nobody watched those videos unless it was Honkai Impact 3rd. Let me go back a little bit here, so you can see where these videos all were that did really, really well, right? Okay, so nope, one more. Okay, it's right around here. So all these videos, I used to average at least every other video, or like every 2 or 3 videos, I would get 20K, 15K, 30K, right? So every video was getting 20K, 20K, 16K. This is even a Final Fantasy 16. This is, see, it's like I was posting Final Fantasy videos, I was posting Honkai videos, Star Rail videos. Like I should not have done all this, right? Final Fantasy 7 videos. Like I was really fucking my channel with this bullshit, dude. But they were still getting views. Look, 41,000 views, 14, 10,000, 20,000, 37,000, 10, 10, 208, 90,000, 30,000. Like, but as soon as I stopped doing Honkai Impact Third content, right? And then I started doing, you know, just Hoya, like Star Rail and other shit, bro. Even I think Grand Blue Fantasy. See, like I'm starting to notice that games outside of Hoyoverse are doing way better for me than Hoyoverse games. Like, look at all these videos lately have been just 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, which is it's insane. It should not be this bad on my channel. It's never been this bad ever. Until I started just mainly trying to focus on Hoyoverse games, and now it's getting really bad. But as soon as I did Grand Blue Fantasy reeling videos, bro, I never made a Grand Blue Fantasy reeling video ever in my life until the game came out, and I was averaging 15 to 20K views per video, per guide. Fairy combo guide, 16,000. Let's see here. Rosetta, 13,000. That was just a live stream for Star Rail. Yorahara, 15K. Siegfried, 16K. Langfried, 10, 11K. Look, Zeta combo, 25K. Like, they were all amazing. And then if you look at the videos that are before and after this, is this Honkai back? Look, Grand Blue Fantasy, 25K. Honkai back third, 1.8. Fucking Grand Blue Fantasy, 10K, 15K, 15K. Look, another Star Rail thing, 3-4K. Oh, 4K. Oh, another Grand Blue Fantasy relink, 9K. Oh, Genshin, ratio video, 3.5K. Like, I think, I don't know. I fucked my channel somehow. I don't know what it was. Maybe I should just delete all the Honkai Back Third videos from my channel. Maybe that'll help. I don't fucking understand. But yeah, there is right now something happening with the YouTube and especially the Gacha community where they just don't really care. You don't need guides for Hoyoverse games. You say that, but people like EO, Misopoki, and Gacha Smack are getting a lot of views.
Phones or consoles or PC. Gacha games have never been and will never be structured as a main game. They're all designed to be side games.
Yeah, and I think this is why the tangent I just went off of, and I think this is why I had to take a break for like the last 2 weeks, and I've only just been logging in, doing dailies, logging out. Zenless Zone Zero really brought that down hard. I was like, man, I'm trying to just like stay consistent in the Gacha community and stream this game and be relevant and get views and on Twitch, and the views just aren't there like I wanted to be. And then also I was just really bored with the game and I was just getting tired of Gacha. So I think this whole week or two coming up that I have off, I'm just going to be playing variety. I'm not going to be streaming Gacha at all.
People usually
there's honestly actually nothing even to do in Gacha right now. Withering Waves, great. Changlei's coming out Monday night, cool, but that's it. It's just per character. There's nothing else there besides a stupid event that comes out like a couple days after that. Star Rail 2.4, which looks mid, is not coming out for another 15 days still. Zenless Zone Zero is not getting another major update for another month still. There's literally nothing to do.
Multiple to cycle through them. They're all
can you ban that motherfucker, Trust? Thank you. I probably need a job. I own a business, you fucking retard.
Intended to be played in short bursts. I mean, hell, that's Hoyoverse's whole business model. They want to suck you into their ecosystem of games so that you are constantly jumping from one game to the next, because there's
It's coming from somebody that probably lives in his fucking mom's basement that's never seen a fucking woman naked in his life. Fucking dumbass.
Bursts. I mean, hell, that's Hoyoverse's whole business model. They want to suck you into their ecosystem of games so that you are constantly jumping from one game to the next, because there's not always going to be content existing in each one of them. So they want you to be able to go from Zenless Zone Zero to Honkai Star Rail, back to Genshin, back to Zenless Zone Zero.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't.
Zero. That's the whole point. Sorry, I know Honkai Impact Third is there too, but like it just...
That game's dead. I'm sorry. It just is. It's a dead game.
It's kind of its own thing. It's a bit of an anomaly. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. You understand.
It's still a wonderful game, but compared to those other three you just named, is completely dead. Like, bro, the Gacha chart showed like fucking $300,000 last month in a big part 2 update. That was fucking insane to me.
Side of Hoyoverse though, even if a game on launch has a ton of content for you to do, what we call the honeymoon phase, where you can sit down and binge a gacha game for the first time, that will eventually come to an end.
Yeah, and that's to me the only time a gacha game is fun. But for me, Zenless Zone Zero did not even have that.
And you reach what's called the maintenance mode. That's when you reach the state of the game where you can kind of log in every day, do your dailies, spend some resin, and then you can make some micro progression on your account. But you're not able to just sit there and actually do extended play sessions. That finally comes when a new patch drops or a new event takes place, where then you can finally log in and then binge part of that. And then as soon as that's done, you cycle on to the next gacha game and the wheel continues.
Yep.
So what this means to someone like me is that most people who are screaming about this online probably have at least 2 to 3 gacha games that they're playing. And there are definitely people who are finding themselves on both sides of these conflicts. I play Zenless Zone Zero and Wuthering Waves, and I don't have any issue in doing so right now. And yet constantly what I'm seeing is people shitting on the other because of whatever combat or whatever story or whatever art style. Pick your side. The argument's made on both.
Yeah.
People just recycle the same shit and keep arguing about it over and over again.
And then guess what? When Azure Premilia comes out and Arknight's Enfield comes out and fucking Neverness to Everness comes out, Seven Deadly Sins Origins, it's gonna keep happening. And I am so tired of it. Oh, it's so annoying. This is why I don't look at my comments anymore. It is so frustrating that like you can't even like a game without constant people trying to compare it to something else. Like, holy shit, can we just enjoy what we're fucking playing and have fun? Because, you know, where I come from, gaming used to be fun, man. Playing video games used to be fun and not a constant fucking dick measuring contest with other games. It is the most childish, cringe shit I've ever seen in my fucking life.
And then someone like me sitting there like, guys, who cares?
Yeah.
So
you know what I think? You know what I think? If you play just gacha games, fucking broaden your horizons and play other fucking games. I guarantee you, you play a game like I'm playing right now, Trails Through Daybreak, I will guarantee you that you will think the writing in any Hoyoverse game after playing that game is complete and utter garbage.
where we find ourselves in a mess of some people who have a very difficult time socializing in society with unhealthy emotional attachments to physical things or people they don't actually know, who are wanting to protect their financial investments, fighting with other people about fictional things that don't exist for fun. And it's dumb. Oh gosh. Finally got that off my chest. But look,
it is
I
dumb.
don't want to be part of the problem. I'm not going to be somebody who's going to just sit here and bitch about it and complain, because I want to actually offer something.
What?
I want to offer
drugs,
some solutions here.
Drugs.
What can we do
Money.
to try and change this crap? Okay.
You can't.
So dial in.
You can't.
For a sec.
You can't. It's an addiction. It's an addiction. You can't change these people.
I'm a firm believer in personal responsibility, meaning you can only do what you can do, and I think you're only accountable for your own personal actions. So I got 3 new things you can try to help try and be a little bit of change in this space. First one, be constructive. Look, if you got a problem.
Okay, here, I have a problem with your first, thing here. Here's the problem. When you try to be constructive in this space, you just warrant people come attack you. If you're constructive about a game in a completely unbiased point of view, people will attack you anyway because you're attacking their favorite game. That's how people are in the gacha community. I fucking love Wuthering Waves. I did a stream and I did a video where I was talking about the things I disliked about it, and people were on my ass, pissed, because I was making comments about things in the game that needed to be changed for the game to be better, even though I still really love the game, but I still get attacked. So being constructive sometimes is not always a solution. I'm just gonna be honest.
With any kind of game, event, activity, whatever it may be on a given product or community, don't just sit there.
I think the first thing you should have said instead of be constructive is have an open mind, and allow people to have other opinions.
Complain about it, actually offer some solutions in return, even if they're bad ideas. even if they're bad ideas. I mean, God forbid they actually use one of them, but I personally want to see you offer at least bad ideas, because what that shows to me is you actually care, that you actually care about wanting to see change for the game to make it better, so you're not just going to sit there and whine about it. Nobody likes somebody who just sits there and complains, but does nothing to try and help it. The second thing is to try and be a bit more patient. Look, I've said this
That's
in
a good one.
previous videos, and I'm going to say it again.
Yeah,
People
like, bro,
are dumb.
They are. And people, so being more patient is exactly what I was talking about with Arknight's Enfield and Neverness to Everness. Like, people are already judging Neverness to Everness and Arknight's Enfield, and Arknight's Enfield only had a technical test, not even a beta. The game is so early that there's barely, like, most of the stuff we're seeing is going to be changed. Look at Zenless Zone Zero. So much shit changed since the first beta. Like, people do not know that you probably shouldn't judge something until you get your hands on it, man. People judging shit about a fucking beta or a fucking alpha footage and shit. Like, bro, are you dumb? Yes, they are.
And sometimes being a bit patient to explain a few things can go a long way for somebody, as long as there's somebody who's willing to listen, but we'll come back to that. I think gacha games attract a younger audience, broadly speaking, so it's a lot of younger people bringing their naivete into the space, and they're just spewing things before they've actually...
I need to get water because I'm dying here. Give me 1 second.
Broadly speaking, so it's a lot of younger people bringing their naivete into the space, and they're just spewing things before they've actually had a chance to think about it. So try and be a little more patient and try and take an opportunity to explain something to someone, all right? At least try. But if that doesn't work, point 3, don't waste your time. If someone is arguing with you in bad faith,
I don't waste my time anymore.
Actually care to learn or be constructive about something, don't bother wasting your time and engaging with that person. You know what's the best thing to do when confronted by trolls and crazy deranged people? To report them, ignore them, and move on with your life.
Ban them, block them.
There's a content creator who comes to mind who perfectly falls into this category, and I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want to give him the satisfaction, just in case he happens to come across this video.
Fuck you, bro. Fuck you, bro. You piece of... He's still salty that I beat him in the tournament. Who are you talking about, huh? Who are you talking about?
Them, ignore them, and move on with your life. There is a content creator who comes to mind who perfectly falls into this category, and I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want to give him the satisfaction, just in case he happens to come across this video, but I know other content creator friends of mine will know who I'm talking about. And the best thing to do with those kind of people is ignore them, don't engage with them, and move on with your life. But that's not just for content creators, that's for other viewers, that's for people in the comments,
what a scumbag
on Twitter, whoever it may be.
Guys, go dislike his video.
You engage with crazy people like that, you are just feeding the beast and literally...
I gave this man advice. I gave him... Bro, do you want to know what his thumbnail looked like before? Do you want to know what his thumbnail even looked like before? It was just a picture of Tectone. It was just a picture of Tectone with the text that he has here in this video that said the gacha community is toxic. And I told him, no. What you need to do is have a picture of Tectone, like something fire in the background, and in the back of him, a bunch of comments that say, kill yourself, you're fucking ugly, you're bald, or stuff like that. Look at the difference. Look at all of his thumbnails, right? They're all pretty much the same, right? Okay, look at the difference in this thumbnail. Way better, right? That's crazy, isn't it? Fuck you, bro. I gave you advice and you won't even shout me up. Man, he did not want to give me the satisfaction. That's crazy. Let's hear that one more time.
Content creator who comes to mind who perfectly... If someone is arguing with you in bad faith, or they don't actually care to learn or be constructive about something, don't bother wasting your time and engaging with that person. You know what's the best thing to do when confronted by trolls and crazy deranged people? To report them, ignore them, and move on with your life. There is a content creator
who said that, Connor?
Comes to mind who perfectly falls into this category, and I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want to give him the satisfaction.
Yeah, he's still salty I beat him in the tournament.
In case he happens to come across this video, but I know other content creator friends of mine will know who I'm talking about. And the best thing to do with those kind of people is ignore them, don't engage with them, and move on with your life. But that's not just for content creators, that's for other viewers, that's for people in the comments, that's for people on Twitter, whoever it may be. When you engage with crazy people like that, you are just feeding the beast and literally wasting your own time in life.
Yep.
Unless you're someone like Tectone, where you're about to spin that whole thing into content and literally monetize and make money off of people being stupidly deranged.
Listen, the only reason that Tectone can do that is because he has the time to. And he focuses his content around that. Honestly, if I did this full time, I'd probably do that too. But my sanity after working 40, 50 hours a week and then working 40, 50 hours a week on content creation while still trying to find time for the gym and still trying to find time for myself now, to like, you know, to watch some anime off stream, play a game off stream, not make content on it, and just enjoy, go for a walk. I do not want my sanity to be fucking destroyed while I'm also streaming or content creation. My brain cannot handle it any more stress.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your life. You don't got a ton of it, so just use it for something better. Now, if you made it,
Joke's on you. I'm going to make it to 100 years old.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I know I probably said a few things that probably pissed off a few people,
Fuck
but
them.
you know, we're just having a couple of goofs
Fuck
and
those
gaffes
people
in here while we're talking about something that is like adjacently serious. It's not that serious. It's still internet at the end of the day, but you know, it does affect a lot of people and a lot of people's experience. And also, play the games that you like. Somebody else hates the game and they don't like the game that you play, but you have fun playing it. Play it. I don't care. Who cares? It's your life. Frickin' live it. If you made this far in the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see y'all in the next one.
Okay, I'm gonna give some feedback to Connor if Connor is watching this, and just any content creator in general. This kind of content, Connor, I want to see you do more of. I want to see you do more content like this. This was a very, very good video. Very, very good video. I hope that he does more. I want you guys to go like his video and go leave a comment. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, please go like Twitch. You guys, I'm putting the link there. Make sure you go like his video, leave a comment. Legions sent me blah, 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 whatever. This was a very good video. Very Nikrit style. I like that style. It's very engaging. It's very more personable. And I think that he found his niche, and I think that that is where he excels in being creative and entertaining. I think that is much better than his other videos. Probably one of the best videos I've seen from him. So, guys, make sure you like his video, subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. If you guys enjoyed this and you want to see more content from me as well, make sure you subscribe to my channel as well and hit the like button. I am going to be doing a lot more videos like this because I'm going to be honest, there's just not much going on in Gacha space, and I want to focus on other things. I have another YouTube channel, an anime channel, and I also have another channel that I'm going to be starting soon that's going to be completely different from Gacha. So I will let you guys know about that channel when it's done. If you guys want to follow that too to get more content from me, feel free to do so. I'll let you guys know on a community post or Twitter. So follow me on all the socials for you guys to know more. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys on the next video.